Hello, Lakeside families. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge it's February and it's Black History Month. And at Lakeside, we are celebrating Black excellence, both historic and modern, and internationally and locally as well, throughout all our classrooms in a variety of ways. And I'd be happy to share that later on in this month, what our students have been engaged in. However, this video doesn't really fit with that theme. This video is more about our ongoing work in the many months leading up to Black History Month and the months that will follow Black History Month. This video is more about challenging systemic racism and the barriers that exist for certain flesh tones. So with that said, I'd like to introduce another Unlearn poster. And aside, many of our classrooms have been using these Unlearn posters to reflect and think critically on issues surrounding race, gender, social justice, and the environment as well. So without further ado, I present to you the Unlearn poster, Fleshtones. So as I previously mentioned in some of our earlier videos regarding Unlearn posters, that is that they are indeed open to interpretation and your own perspective and different thoughts based on your lived experience. So I will begin with some reflection questions, and then afterwards I will share my thoughts on this image. When you see or hear the word flesh tone, what comes to mind? Are all flesh tones represented on this poster? Which ones might you add? How are flesh tones represented in the media? If you were asked to create your own flesh tone poster, how would you design it? And what technology would you use? What message would you want to send through using this poster? And now for my reflections on this Unlearn poster. I see many skin types represented. I think there are many more shades that could be added. I see them all level, and if they were placed vertically, maybe that would seem as if they were ranked or one tone was more important than another. I think there's more representation in the media of different flesh tones and in commercials and TV and movies today than in the past, and I think that is a positive for sure. However, I know in the past and up until today currently, different flesh tones are treated differently. And that's why we need to continuously challenge systemic racism and address these barriers and marginalization that affect certain groups. We need to continue to collectively unlearn why this was in the past and why it continues to be. We need to relearn that no one skin tone is better than another. We need to learn to undo past harms and be better for all humankind going forward. And in the words of Maya Angelou, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. And speaking of doing better, I will actually acknowledge I'm a bit embarrassed that we didn't do this sooner. However, we have distributed to all our classrooms different shade bandages after one of our staff members so pointed out that the band-aids we had were not reflective of the skin tones in her classroom. So we've addressed that, and like I said, when you know better, do better. So thanks for listening.